not just a job in law enforcement, and what it really means to protect and serve. You may have seen our ad during the Super Bowl. We were planning that for many, many weeks, and we want to thank our partners at Great Television for assisting us and giving us a real good discount to be able to afford that. But we wanted to attract the eyeballs and the interest of top-notch people who are thinking about a career, one that may not be considering law enforcement, but we want them to think about the Montgomery Police Department. And so this year, with the help of our city council, we launched a $10,000 signing incentive to attract and retain officers. We're also investing in prevention and community trust. Our Together We Rise strategy focuses on the number of individuals driving violence while supporting re-entry programs so that cycles of crime don't repeat themselves. And we're adding technology to improve safety. MPD is deploying new tactical drones, along with license plate readers, facial recognition tools, and expanded camera systems integrated into the Star Watch network. We met with a national vendor just yesterday, and I was amazed at the things that we can now do through technology and what other cities are doing to help keep their streets and their communities safe. We want to do the same thing, and we intend to do the same thing. Because these tools strengthen situational awareness and help track and apprehend suspects faster and more effectively, making sure that that call you place in 911 has a fast response time. But this is part of a broader plan that includes increased patrols, targeted enforcement, and Special Operations Division expansion. Public safety isn't just about crime, and we know that. It's also about care. Last year, we opened Fire Station 10, which includes the region's first safe haven baby box. Already, we've seen our firefighters cry. You may ask why. Because multiple infants have been safely surrendered, proof that infrastructure can save lives in the most vulnerable moments. Because when you have that baby box right outside of Fire Station 10, that young mother who doesn't know what to do knows that there's an option and knows that there's something she can do to preserve that baby's future. That's significant. And so we're proud of our men and women at Montgomery Fire and Rescue. We're also advocating for federal support. Our Project Fortify proposal requests $12 million in federal grant funds to scale trauma-informed recovery and victim services delivered through schools and our community centers. This is something that many of our council members have been talking about for the last several years. And so we're glad to go after this grant at the federal level. We're glad to hear from many of you who have advocated for us to bring about programs that focus on the proactive side of reducing violence and not just the reactive side. But we also know with affordability, there's pressure. And affordability tends to be the pressure that people feel most. And in order to solve that, then careers are the strongest solutions we have, creating opportunities with jobs. Montgomery has focused on building a healthy economy rooted in advanced manufacturing, logistics, and national security-driven growth sectors that create stable wages and predictable opportunity. Working with our partners at the Chamber of Commerce and our Department of Economic Development, we have helped bring about more than 4,700 new jobs and $3.6 billion in investment. That's not rhetoric, it's a measurable track record. Our Inland Port project is critical to our supply chain infrastructure. It strengthens Alabama's freight network, positions Montgomery as a logistics hub, and connects local workers to national distribution systems. State investments like the $60 million rail expansion at the Port of Mobile set the stage for this inland port, linking Montgomery's economy to global markets, maximizing the land and airspace that we have at our regional airport. But we know that's not enough. We're also revitalizing our commercial corridors through Open on Main Street, which helps small businesses open storefronts and bring life back to our neighborhoods. And we're using independent analysis, including insights from McKinsey's Institute for Economic Mobility, to steer toward what works for families and businesses, and not just ideology. Momentum is visible in our streets and in our neighborhoods. And something that I know will make our longest-serving council member, Charlie Jenwright, proud is we paved more than 9.5 miles of roadway. We repaired more than 8,000 feet of sidewalks, filled more than 6,500 potholes, and restored 3,700 feet of curb and gutter. Those are the questions that people ask the city council president, like Mr. Jenwright was for so many years, and our current president, C.C. Calhoun. They want to know, what are you doing? What are you doing to make my drive to work, to church, or home smoother and better? It's fine that you have all of these lofty statistics and all these great data points, but let's make it plain. We are doing the work to fix and maintain our infrastructure in Montgomery so that it is the best in the state of Alabama. Now, we could not do that without other divisions within Public Works. Our crews also cleaned 14 miles of ditches, cut 341 miles of roadside vegetation, and maintained drainage systems by cleaning nearly 1,400 inlet boxes. These numbers reflect a commitment to service and sustainability. And in 2026, we're expanding paving projects, enhancing recycling, and leveraging technology to improve delivery. We've renovated and reopened 3 community centers and built the brand new Courtney Pruitt Community Center right there on Calmar Drive, giving families safe spaces for learning, recreation, and connection. These are the things that our council members bring to us when we're talking one-on-one. These are the things that are debated in between the council meetings. These are the things that we try to make sure we can solve to address the needs that so many people in our neighborhoods bring to our council members, and yes, even bring directly to the mayor's inbox. Because we know that's important to each and every resident in our city. But also, through Montgomery Forward, we've upgraded technology in those community centers, adding smart infrastructure at the Fairview Transfer Center, and investing in zero-emission transit features. We're tackling blight removal aggressively to restore pride in our neighborhoods, tearing down long vacant commercial properties, making sure that they're not just torn down, but they're put back on our rolls for development, that they're put back on our rolls for future use. Our Choice Neighborhoods Initiative grant is driving transformation in Centennial Hill and Patterson Court. Why is that so important? Because with a history like Centennial Hill, one that was home to so many leaders of the Montgomery bus boycott and the Selma Montgomery Voting Rights March, it's important for us to bring back infill development and urban renewal focus on these type of communities. And as it sits adjacent between our state capitol and Alabama State University and I-85, it's important for those who live there and those who want to live there that they know there's a future for neighborhoods that for too long have felt left behind. And I work with the Mayor's Institute on City Design. It's also helping shape redevelopment in Chisholm and North Montgomery. You can't get beating free help from Harvard University and MIT School of Planning. It doesn't get any better than that, especially when you don't have to pay for it. But when you have those type of partnerships, they allow those that are best in class to bring us ideas and to bring us direction on the things that we're doing well and maybe the things that we can do just a little bit better, even in parts of Montgomery that people haven't thought about in many, many years. But momentum isn't just about technology. It's about planning for growth. And that's why we're updating Montgomery's zoning ordinance. For the first time in decades, you'll see this change. This modernization will make it easier to attract investment, support small business development, and ensure that as we expand fiber and infrastructure, our land use policies reflect the future we're building, one that prioritizes equity, sustainability, and opportunity. Zoning ordinances doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound sexy. But in my first workshop after I became mayor in 2019, the thing they told us that was the biggest key to economic development, in particular in older neighborhoods, was the zoning ordinances. That's not what I went in there thinking, and hence I got the answer wrong. But it's good that we're getting the answer right now. Because even though it's not something that makes headlines or makes for cool reels or cool tweets, it makes for a better life for those that are living in these communities. So we're going to be asking you to come out and give your feedback. Yes, on whether or not that building should be 60 feet from the curb or 75 feet from the curb. Yes, whether or not that sign that's on that business should be 25 feet or 50 feet. We're going to ask for your feedback on the minutia, on the things that will set the course for the next several decades for the city of Montgomery. But we also know access matters for work, education, and healthcare. And momentum is visible in our connectivity efforts. We've mapped fiber routes through underserved areas and done our broadband assessment with a focus on moving forward with expansion to ensure every neighborhood has reliable internet service. This is key whether your child or your grandchild is doing their work right now at school, or whether you're watching church on a Sunday, or whether or not you're just trying to do some everyday tax returns. You want to make sure that your internet service is reliable. T-Mobile has begun laying fiber in the Harrison Road area, expanding high-speed access for families and businesses. We know the impact of the digital divide. At the same time, C-Spire is completing the middle mile outer loop to lower Montgomery County, a critical step before working inward to connect rural Montgomery. These investments mean faster internet, stronger infrastructure, and more opportunity for each and every resident. This means greater economic opportunity and greater growth prospects. But we're also modernizing city services. Residents now have 311 technology at their fingertips, making it easy to report issues from their phones, whether it's a pothole, trash pickup, or code enforcement. This year, we're investing further to make 311 even more responsive to citizen needs. To date, nearly 90% of all service requests have been completed within 7 days, proving that momentum means results. And access isn't just about infrastructure. It's about enrichment. Montgomery's cultural heartbeat begins at the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts. MMFA, a city-owned institution with more than 4,000 works and a dynamic slate of programs. Working with our Department of Cultural Affairs and so many partners throughout the city and nonprofits, we see series like Art After 5, Mini Makers, and Art Talk. MMFA creates spaces for learning and connection. Thanks to the Art Bridges Foundation's Access for All grant, MMFA offers free programs, camps, tours, and classes through December 2026. But beyond the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts, organizations like 21 Dreams, the King's Canvas, and the Alabama Shakespeare Festival enrich our creative ecosystem with public art, performance, and education. Arts and culture aren't extra, they're essential. They fuel tourism, attract investment, and give our city its soul. And we're advocating for Montgomery families at every level to be able to participate in that. And we know that there are other partners, from the ballet to the symphony to Cloverdale Playhouse, the Equal Justice Initiatives, Freedom and Sculpture Park, that play a role in all of this. And we want you to enjoy this quality of place that we have right here in your city. Because it's important that you understand all of these things belong to you, our residents. Not just those of us at City Hall, and not just the tourists who revenue we count on each and every day to come into the city to visit. It's important for us to make sure that we take ownership and pride in where arts and culture are in our community. Now, we also believe decisions are strongest when they're made closest to the people. Because when they're made closest to the people, we understand that impact better. Whether it's how cities fund essential services or how we protect public safety, Montgomery will continue to stand up for local voices and local responsibility. And we're doing that. Our finance department has worked feverishly to make sure that we can procure $25 million to assist Jackson Hospital with its stability moving forward. We've also worked feverishly to make sure that we can help our active and retired employees with a new $5 million employee health facility. All of these things are important because it's feedback that you've given us directly or our council members have shared with us themselves. It's important that we invest in one another and in our community. And so we're going to continue to work constructively with our partners at every level without losing sight of what our residents expect from us. At the federal level, we're going to press for predictable funding and fair treatment for mid-sized cities. Our advocacy through the U.S. Conference of Mayors, National League of Cities, the African American Mayors Association, and direct engagement with our congressional delegation ensures Montgomery's voice is heard on infrastructure, housing, and public policy. From Senator Britt to Senator Tuberville to Congressman Figures, we have all had a great dialogue of working about how to change Montgomery and how to improve the river region and improve central Alabama. And that's just part of the equation, because the final part comes down to education, because education is economic development. And we all know the importance of that. And as a graduate of Montgomery Public Schools, I'm always amazed at the progress that I see from the students, the teachers, the principals, and staff that are working. I commend our city council for being active in supporting our public schools, answering so many requests, whether it's to help buy school supplies, or maybe it is to help fund a trip. Whatever it is, we get a lot of those requests, and we're glad to be able to help. But we know there's more to that partnership with MPS. We appreciate their ongoing commitment to supporting our shared goals for the community. It's encouraging to see the community come together to support our students at all levels. On our part, we continue to deepen that partnership with outside organizations like Harlem Children's Zone, who in 2026 plan to bring proven models for cradle to career success to Montgomery neighborhoods. We've aligned education with opportunity. Students have earned more than 2,300 industry-recognized credentials. Career and technical education enrollment has grown by 28%. And we're proud to work with our partners at the Montgomery County Commission and our partners at the state to make sure over 400 paid internships are connected to young people, that they have the high demand career opportunities that we see and hear about in so many other places. Without intergovernmental collaboration, none of us will be able to see this progress. And we're going to continue to build local capacity through innovation. With our partnership with the Bloomberg Center for Public Innovation, Montgomery is strengthening how City Hall works alongside its residents, nonprofits, and local leaders to solve challenges together. Our inaugural Supporting Emerging Empowered Developers, SEED Academy, equips Montgomeryans with tools and training to reinvest in neighborhoods they know, best revitalizing housing, reducing energy burdens, and creating pathways for local builders. Tonight, I want to recognize members of our SEED Academy and Youth Build programs who are here with us. Will you please stand at this time? Your work is shaping the future of our neighborhoods, and we're grateful for your energy, your interest, and your innovation. And we want to highlight one person by the name of Jamichael Patterson. I want to thank Jamichael for his perseverance and leadership. Your story is Montgomery momentum in action. When Jamichael joined Youth Build Montgomery in November 2024, he faced multiple personal challenges and wasn't sure what the next day would bring. But he persevered. Through this program, Jamichael completed a community service project building raised garden beds at Sheridan Heights Community Center. He earned his OSHA 10 certificate and an entry-level construction credential through the Home Builders Institute. These are credentials that open doors to skilled trades. His passion for learning and aptitude for mathematics didn't go unnoticed. Today, Jamichael works part-time as a community health worker trainee under the city's Community-Based Violence Intervention and Prevention Initiative grant, where he's learning participatory research methods to help reduce violence and improve community health. Jamichael is now on a pathway toward additional training and post-secondary education. His journey shows what happens when a city invests in its people. Resilience turns into opportunity, and opportunity turns into momentum. Progress that belongs to the people is important, but we know progress has to be felt and has to be realized. We believe that Montgomery is delivering those results that people can actually see and feel. That's not to say that we're comfortable or complacent, but the numbers show it. The stories prove it. But the progress doesn't belong in City Hall alone. It belongs to the people of Montgomery, the team that powers our city, over 2,400 employees alone, but also everyone who's working a part-time or full-time job in our city and in our region. It also belongs to the students, those at our traditional schools, those at our career tech academies, those in our private and independent schools, those in our magnet programs, all of the students in our colleges and universities who are helping innovate and change how we do things not only in our city, but our state and our country. It belongs to the entrepreneurs, those who are on the cusp of innovation, those who are hustling and grinding each and every day to make sure that their idea is implemented. It belongs to the seniors, those who are passing on pearls of wisdom to all of us because of the trials that they have seen and the trails they have blazed. Our service members, those who have sacrificed, those who have given so much for this nation, those who continue to give back to our cities and our community, even though they're from around the world and may only be here for a few months. They call Montgomery home. And certainly it belongs to the families who make this city what it is. Safety, affordability, and opportunity rise together. And when government stays focused on delivery, people feel the difference. Montgomery is moving forward, and together we will keep building a city that works for everyone. Thank you so much for all you do. Let's continue to work in 2026, and let's make this the best year ever. Thank you, and have a great night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Steven L. Reed. Thank you to our residents, partners, community leaders, and institutions who continue to invest in Montgomery's growth and success. Your commitment fuels our progress and strengthens our shared future. Together, we look forward to building on this momentum and moving Montgomery forward in 2026 and beyond. Thank you for joining us. Everyone have a safe commute.